I think just a little brief overview, some some good and then some not so good. So I think starting with the not so good, I think some areas that I've looked at for sure that I think I have to get better, do a better job as a head coach. Starting with number one, I didn't think we had great legs, and that really disappointed me a little bit. I thought we were a step or two slow the other day, and I think it's a fine line, and I'm always trying to balance between that in a sense that we're trying to get this program going, trying to teach these kids, at least I am, we are as a staff, the way we want to practice, being consistent or whatever. All these games have been tough, I think, and coupled with the fact that, we've been at it now, I think I figured out yesterday, 14 straight weeks, and said, well, somebody said, we didn't play Florida State. Well, I know. We prepared all week, turned around and practiced Friday when they canceled the game, and now turned around and practiced Sunday, which, like I said, just trying to improve. And, I think coupled with the fact these games are tough, they're physical, they're conference games, travel to South Al, turn around, travel across a couple time zones. I just didn't, because I thought we were really giving great effort. I just thought we were a step or two slow, especially in the first half. So that's something that I put on me. Secondly, I think we have to continue as a staff to try to do a better job and look at the areas too, and not use this as an excuse. It's just something I think we have to get better at, the second straight year, and I think it's actually been going on for a while here, but, our injuries are unbelievable when you look at the situation and stuff, with what we have, and, now with last week with Keaton Baggs out for the year, J.J. Dallas out for the year, Marquise McCray out for the year. We're up to 10, and then 5 more guys not available to play. Xavier Brown, Kane White, Shaquille Warren, Cody McGuire, Darius Rodriguez, all out. You got guys out there that are coming back that still aren't really playing, like Logan Lattin, Austin Vaughn, Tyler Lamb. You're getting some big numbers of guys and stuff, and we got to do a better job moving forward, and in the future I do, of trying to figure that situation out, and, we can have more of our guys available, I think. The other thing is, too, that I got to improve on for sure is that's 2 straight weeks, I think, that's been I've made coaching mistakes in the games that I think, could have probably helped us. That's 2 straight weeks that we technically could have run the clock out, probably from an offensive standpoint, and we were pretty fortunate to be down 14, I thought, the other day, and we got the ball. We had just got a touchdown, and, my job is to not only, help the offense and try to score points, it's also to try to protect the defense, I think. And, we come out chunking again like we did against South Al, and that's 2 straight weeks that they've gotten a touchdown right before the halftime, which I think, I thought we were playing good offensively. We'd only punted once. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, but I thought it was a game that we could certainly get back into, and we did. And I know those 7 points before the half, both weeks, would have been a big deal and stuff. And I said I didn't manage either one of those very well. And then, obviously, too, I think you start to press like I've done, and there's 2 straight weeks that I went for it on 4th down there. Those 3 points would have came, but it's, I think when you get down and stuff, and I just got to guard against that. I've been doing this a long time and normally better than that, but the other day I think we got the ball, at the 2, drove down to their 2, drove 96 yards, and, but what I was thinking of is taking a 5-yard penalty and moving the ball to the 7 because the ball's on the right hash. That's a tough kick from the 2, for a right-footed kicker on the right hash, and, go for it. Thought we had a great play, and ended up coming out with nothing, and then they took it down and scored. So, that really wasn't – obviously it wasn't a turnover like it was against South Al, but it's 14-point swing, and stuff, and maybe we should have took the 3 and then kicked off and stuff. So I don't know. There's some things, like I said, that I certainly have to do better at, in terms of getting our kids ready, and in terms of a few situations that have mounted – in the games and stuff moving forward. I think really the what we have to, starting from an offensive standpoint, just, all of a sudden the last 2 weeks our red zone offense, our red zone efficiency has really been subpar, obviously, and something we have to look at, and we certainly have to try to improve on, because we have really moved the football. And if you told me before the game you're going to have 25 first downs and over 500 yards, what even went out there? And So why you only score 23 points? Third downs? No, we were good on third down. Turnovers, only had one, the kick off the foot. So, I mean, none of that's a problem. The problem is we got to get it down there. And, we made a field goal, missed a field goal, went for it on fourth down, don't score at the end of the game. I don't know why I keep reading that we got to the 9-yard line. We got to the 3-yard line. I don't know why I keep reading the 9. The ball got moved back. Well, we had the ball at the 3-yard line and didn't score stuff. So, and, that's – I think that, we got to do better. I certainly have to do better in that situation. We got to get that thing in some kind of way. And, whether we'd have got the 2-point play or not, I don't know. But our kids fought back into the game. So I think the red zone offense is something I want to continue what we're doing, though offensively. I think we got a nice mix. We didn't run the ball as much as we did against South Owl in terms of what they were doing. The difference is there were more zone, there were more guys inside, and then plus we got behind and stuff. So, but I thought, I didn't think when we were running the ball we were that ineffective. We just threw it more because I think of the situation and stuff, and plus we got behind. Defensively, I think the two areas that no question have to be improved is we got to get off the field on third down. And we started doing that in the second half of the game, just like we did in the second half of the South Owl game. We started getting off the field. We're not getting off the field the first 2.5 quarters, and that's really become a problem trying to get off the field. The other thing I think that we have to improve defensively is we're not getting any turnovers, and that's something that I think that we have to start trying to do. We were doing a little bit of it early in the year, and I don't know. I think it's been 3-4 weeks since we got a turnover, I think, and stuff. So I think that's another area. But so those are things I think we need to improve from a kicking standpoint. I think two things that stand out. Number one, the ball hits our kid in the leg, which I think is I'm not even going to address it today. I mean, that's just something that's happens about once every 2 or 3 years. He hit it hard and hit it right at him, and he just couldn't get out of the way. But then the other thing too that was disappointing was the block in the back on the return, because obviously that would have set us up. Great execution of the play. Give Pallage credit. Had a great return set up. I mean, our kids are really got him held up, have a great return, and then he gets called back. So, but other than that, kicking-wise, I think that's second week in a row. We've only punted twice. So, but our punt team is doing good. I love our kick coverage team. From a kickoff return standpoint, we didn't get many chances because the guy's kicking the ball in the end zone and stuff. But I like the way we're playing special teams too. So, anyway, but we have to improve on some areas, obviously, and I think the improvement needs to start with me, and I need to try to manage this thing better. Number one, we have to have good legs. We have to get guys out there and to feel good, feel better about themselves, because the effort that we're getting right now, in my book, is incredible. I think these kids are playing their tails off and competing really hard, and that's really positive for me moving forward. I love the competitive spirit. I love the fact that we'll battle and we'll keep battling. I love all that. And I think we've improved drastically in those areas. App State, I think y'all, last year, you guys that were here, I think y'all know that. I love them. Love the philosophy. I love the way they approach the game. Just like it, run the football, stop the run. Love it. I love their overall approach and how they do things. I think they're physical. I think they're fast. I like the way they've recruited. They can run in all phases of the game. And, reminds me of what I want to try to do here and what we were doing where I came from. When you look at the makeup of their football team, even on the offensive line, they may not be 330 pounds, but they have a 6'4", 285 guy that can run, that's athletic. I was laughing watching them on tape. Their 3 shield guys on the punt are great cover guys, 51, 92, and what's the other number? They're all defensive linemen. I mean, them guys get out there and run, and just like everybody else on the shield. But, they're a little bit different, and we're going to look at it and approach it a little bit different in how we try to line up against their punt team, because those guys are cover guys. I mean, yeah, they hold up the shield, but them guys are rolling. They're running down the field, and 51, has as many tackles on their punt team right now as anybody does, and stuff. So I like their approach. From an offensive standpoint, I can't say enough good things about Lamb, and I just think he's the kind of kid that we're fortunate to have one in McNeese, and I think ULM, from everything I saw or whatever with the kid ULM had with Browning, just a winner, does everything right. tough, durable when you look at him and stuff. And he's a good runner. I don't know what he would run the 40 in, but I tell you what, you look up at the end of the game, and he's ran the ball for 70, 80 yards, and I don't know who he's outrunning. Throwing the football, he throws it on time. He throws it where it should be. You can tell he's got a great concept, grasp of the offense and what they're trying to do. He's checking out. He's doing stuff. I love watching him play, and I think he's a difference maker in what they've done. I think John wrote something for me. I was reading 44. This is 44 start, and wow, and like I said, the durability and stuff. Another thing too that if you watch game after game after game, like I started yesterday morning, and have we're just doing a while ago. I've watched every game and how tough he is. I mean, he has taken some major league shots. I mean, that Georgia game, he's taken big-time shots. He met him at media days last year. He's not a very big guy. And just how tough he is. And to me, it's how everybody can rally around that. And Moore's a great running back. He missed last week. I don't know why. But he didn't play against UMass. But, obviously coming back and being the reigning conference Offensive Player of the Year. He's a big-time running back. Like I said, he did not play against UMass. I'm not sure why not. But the other kid came in and ran for 100 yards. So, and then you look at their receivers, kind of like last year, kind of like us, not one guy necessarily with 50, 60 catches, but 5 guys that have caught double-digit passes. They spread it around. So defensively, statistically, really good, like we expected them to be. I think let's look at their stats. Second, I think, overall defense in terms of what they're doing this year. And pretty effective, stopping in both the running and the passing aspect of it. I know I got that somewhere. But, second in total defense, third in pass defense, third in scoring defense. Boggs, this is his 40th start, big-time player. Sims, very, very disruptive. They have 2 kids, Clifton Duck and Hayes, who were both good players last year, too, that both have 4 picks each this year. So I don't think it's so much, that we're going to necessarily be confused at what they're doing defensively. They understand what they're doing. They're going to play an odd front. They'll slide the little 4-down looks. They're going to pressure every now and then, from their safety positions, a little bit of corner fire, a couple linebacker stunts or whatever. But they pretty much do what they do. And but what they do a great job of is they run the football. And so I've been impressed with them. So we know it's going to be obviously a tough challenge. They're 5-3 on the year. If you look at their 2 losses, 2 of their 3 losses, of course, one of them was to Georgia, but they lost by 1 point to Wake Forest in a game I'm sure they probably thought they should have won. And then last week they lost in overtime to UMass in another game, 2 overtimes that I'm sure they thought they probably should have won. But they're 4-0 in the league this year, and like I said, typical out. But again, I'll say this, like I said last week, I think as a staff, we'd be disappointed if we don't feel like we get out there and compete with these guys. And I think it'll be another tough football game. We're going to have to match their physicality for sure. And but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunity of them guys coming here and playing them here, and I'm excited to see what I think our guys can do out there against them. So, any questions?
Yeah, we've talked the past couple of weeks about how you all have really just tried to pare things down as much as you could on defense to try to, get them playing fast and try to correct some of these mistakes. But now that kind of through injury and other things, you got even more young players in the lineup. How much is that going to continue going forward?
I think it's, I think we're getting better, and I think it's helped. And I think that kind of goes back to a point, too, that we were talking about earlier. I think that some situations maybe as the more the year goes on, whatever, you scale it down or you may pull back a little bit of this and this at practice. But when you have young guys that, you need to practice. They need as many reps as they can get each and every week, and I think they're doing fantastic. There's been a couple times in the South Alabama game, I think I counted 5 plays, and then the other night I think I counted 9 plays when we have 5 true freshmen on the field at the same time. And Marbles and Strotter, and then Webster is the buck, Holly's the free, and Rashad Harding, who played a lot more the other night because Chase Day had come out with kind of banged his knee up, so Chase had came out. So Rashad played more the other night. I think he's playing good. When you look at what they're doing and how they do it, I can't say enough good things about Webster. I think he's going to be a great player. Holly, I think, is getting better and better each week. I mean, there was one with the tight end up the seam that he kind of missed, but, it's going to happen. I mean, he just missed the formation. They motion to empty, something that we hadn't necessarily seen. But I like the way he's playing. And then I love Bunny and Strotter. I mean, he's go out there and play. There ain't a whole lot of hoopla and I don't know. I don't hear them talk much, to be honest with you, but they love to play and stuff. So I think that looks good. But it's just a situation that we're in right now, and we're not complaining. I'm not complaining, and our defensive coaches aren't complaining. It's just the situation we're in. But I think sometimes the more those guys, there's nothing like confidence, and I think the more they understand. And so, yeah, we have tried. I know Coach and them have tried to scale a few things back and just so they can just go out there and play. And so we'll have to continue to do that. I think as the weeks go on, we may add a little bit as it goes, but right now I don't have enough good things to say about them. We were bragging in there yesterday. Coaches can tell you that the kickoff return for almost a touchdown, they got called back. The job that Corey Schroeder did on the gunner at the point of attack. I mean, he ran down hip trail exactly like Lamar Morgan teaches. Got to the ball, sat down. I mean, just a great, sit and fit, and I mean, just textbook. But like I say, that's what I like about those kids. They're great kids, they're good players, and they try to do what you're teaching them to do.
Coach, what kind of adjustments did you make in the second half? What kind of adjustments did Coach Collins and his staff make in the second half? With the defense holding Idaho to 3 points.
Nothing earth-shattering, really. I think that we started getting a little bit of penetration. I think, which started to help. But I don't think anything really. I don't go in there with the defensive meetings at the half and stuff, but judging by what Coach said and what I saw on tape, I mean, I don't see a whole lot different in terms of we changed this or that. I just think we started, it goes back to like South Al too. I think, Chris, if you noticed or whatever, we started doing a lot better job on the run in the second half. So now it's 2nd and 8, it's 3rd and 8, it's 3rd and 10, and stuff. So you got a lot better chance of getting off the field you do if, they get 4 or 5 on a run on first down, and now, now second down. And, so when you look at I say we have to get off the field, and our third down conversions haven't been good. But if you look at the down and distances, it's a direct correlation to how good they're doing. When all you have to do is raise up and throw a hitch or a slant or something, on third down, it becomes the probability becomes a lot better chance if you can stop the run and get them in some situations. Because we got them on a couple losses, and then they had 2 penalties, which moved them back. And, so now all of a sudden in the second half we're getting off the field, but they have some 2nd and longs and some 3rd and longs. That becomes a little bit different ball game than every offensive coordinator I've ever been around, and every good offense stays on schedule. That's what you want to do. You want to be on schedule, and we have to get them off the schedule. And when we're not as effective on offense like the first half of Georgia State game, we're off a schedule. Nobody wants to be off schedule. It's your chances of converting and continuing to move the ball are not good.
Going forward, how big is it to have RJ back? Not just in the lineup but starting and out there making plays.
RJ Turner? Oh, I think RJ is a really, really good player. And just a good kid and good football player. And, I know we've been talking about that too. I mean, we look forward. We still got him 2 more years. But he is a really good player. And he's a kid that has size and has great hands, great catch radius, but also has the speed to get on top too. So it's been great having him back really, I guess, what would you say, Coach? About the last 4 weeks, I'd say he's been full speed. Really kind of came back in Lafayette, but the last probably 3 or 4 weeks, I mean, he's back to full go. And I think the big thing for RJ, too, is you can see the improvement each and every week is he's been able to practice full speed. He's been able to take part in the what we call the good-on-good stuff, the scale, the 7-on-7 against the defense, the 1-on-1 against the DBs. So he's been able to take part in all that and, and stuff. So, and I think you can see it. It shows that, we talking, I know he's been fighting a little bit of a foot there, but, Marcus Green was in and out last year. And, lots of times, I mean, Marcus still played but couldn't take part in a lot of that. But this year, I think the improvement of Marcus Green, he's been able to practice pretty much every day. It's been, every now and then. And I just think that's when you really start to see guys improve, when guys can come out and practice every week and get that, get that good on good work and continue to go through the year and stuff. And so I think that's why you see Marcus, you see B. Will. I mean, B. Will, I don't think B. Will's missed one practice. B. Will's been out there every day, and he just gets better and better and better and stuff. And but I think there's a direct correlation with that. Guys that can practice. I'm a big believer in it. So.
You've kind of had, you've had 2 weeks, you know, to kind of sift through the film, both the South Alabama film and you've had some time to watch Idaho. You mentioned the red zone issues, and, you know, in your mind, what is it that's keeping y'all from scoring?
I just think it's, you know, it's nothing, not like one thing that you can, you know, point to. We've had a miss here and a miss there, and we've had a couple times. I know in the South Al game where I thought their guy made a good play, you know, and I mean somebody just won it. So it's nothing really. I think one particular thing right now that we can point to and say yes, that's it and stuff. But you know, the one success we have had over the last few weeks is, you know, throw it up to B. Will. So we were actually trying at the end of the game too, you know, trying to get to that and stuff. But you know, so I don't know. It's just something we continue to look at. I know, you know, Coach Kubik and I talked about it yesterday, and you know, he has everything broken down in the calls we've had and stuff. And it's just it's been a mixture of things, I guess, and nothing one particular thing, you know, that you can just point at and say, wow, I mean, that's a glaring deal. Because really, if you look at it too, it's been pretty even in terms of run pass on first down, run pass on second down. It's been pretty even. It's not like we get down there and we just throw it, or we get down there and we just run it. I mean, it's been pretty even, the play selection and all that. We just, for whatever reason, we haven't executed the way we need to.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned earlier about injuries. And not asking you, like, trying to put you on the spot or anything, but how much of that can you attribute to, like, any sort of conditioning, strength conditioning issues?
Oh, I don't attribute it to that. Not, you know, certainly not right now. I don't at all. But I mean, it's just things that we had to do, you know, where I came from, and we have to do here. I mean, we have to look at it from A to Z, and you know, try to improve it. And it starts with me and stuff. So I mean, but we have to try to improve that as we move forward, you know, and stuff with our program here and stuff. And you know, because more healthy guys you have, the better off you are, obviously.
Is that the most frustrating part about the injuries in there? Is there's little control you don't have over that stuff?
No, not really. I mean, I've done this a long time. I mean, and it's just it's kind of, I mean, it's been the same everywhere I've been, so you're kind of used to it. But I mean, I think we have a lot of good things in place here. I just think we have to look at the deal and like I said, and try to put this, you know, been through this several times, you know, and it's just something that you go through. There was a time we were at McNeese, I forgot what year that was, 2010, I think, maybe, whatever. We went in and, you know, me, the doctors, the trainer, the strength coach, everybody, and we took every injury of that year, put it on tape from practice, from the game, from everything, because you have everything on the system. And if we had 10 or 15 guys, I don't know how many guys we had out that year, we had every injury on tape. What were we doing? What was the intensity of the drill? What surface were we on? What shoes was he wearing? Was he spatted or not spatted? Well, I mean, I just broke the whole thing down and had periodical meetings that off season or whatever and tried to address it. And you know, what did we accomplish out of it? Well, I don't know. I learned a little bit by being around them and listening. But when you look at it, sometimes it's just you go back and go, well, I don't know. Just, you know, because the nature of them is different in a lot of areas and stuff. But so anyway, with that being said, we'll probably do it again at the end of this year, you know, and try to go back through it again and put them all on tape and what were you doing and how were you doing it, especially the lower limb injuries. You know, always go back and try to watch them and, you know, what was this guy doing when this happened? And, you know, like I said, most of the time we do that, whatever, on the low. I didn't do it after last year, but on the lower limb injuries and stuff.
You know, Coach, as good as Appleton is on the ground and stopping the rush, you know, how prepared are you for Caleb to sling it out once again like he did the past couple of weeks?
Well, I think a lot, too, we talked about that last week. A lot depends on how they see us and what they want to stop, I think, and what their goals are in terms of doing it. It's just different each week. I think probably I haven't seen App State enough this week to necessarily compare them, but I think probably, in my opinion, and I know Coach Leja is in here, one of the best run defense probably we've played this year has been South Al. I mean, when you looked at it through the week and you looked at their personnel and you went, wow, man, them guys, what they did to Troy, what they did to some other teams, and they covered our wideouts, and basically we had 6 in the box and we ran the ball. This last week I thought they were really good against the run, but I mean, if you saw the game, I mean, they blitzed people from everywhere and were coming in. So I think their intention is to make us throw it and stop the run. So I think really, I mean, App's good enough, obviously, in areas, but I think it all depends on really going into the game what their idea is and what they think they need to defend. But what we have to continue to be proficient at and be good at, and I think that's what we're excited about, what our offensive coaches are excited about, is I don't think it really matters to us, matters to Coach Cube or our offensive guys, because I think we feel like we can run it or throw it. So, just really depending on what we think is there.
How similar is what App does on defense to Georgia State?
Pretty similar in a sense. App is Georgia State had bigger guys, I think, up front. Georgia State, just really across the board, was bigger in terms of how they're doing. The setup of it will be pretty similar. We think that App will blitz more than Georgia State did. At least that's what they're doing now. And I think just the way, App is I think built more on speed, and stuff. And but the setup of it, in terms of the odd front and the 4 shell and all that, will be similar. But I think they play it a little different. Wouldn't you say that? Yeah.
Hey, Coach, you see how explosive they are on offense. I guess the first half struggles you've had on defense past 2-3 weeks. Do you fear this thing get out of hand pretty early when you face App State on Saturday?
I hope not. No, I don't fear that right now. But I mean, there's always a possibility. Who knows? Maybe we'll jump out like we did against Lafayette. I don't know. But like I said, we know how good a football team they have. Nobody has more respect for App State than the guys, me and the guys that come from where we came from. We have more, and I have as much respect for them as I have anybody in the country. But I think you look at what they're doing and look at the body of work and look at what we're doing, we think we can compete in this game for sure.
Also, Coach, as good as they are defensively, one thing I noticed about App State, on 4th down, I think they're like tops in the Sun Belt and allowing 4th down conversions. What are they doing differently on 4th down than compared to every other down?
Get you in 4th and 13. That's with the lead. That's what they're doing. To be honest with you, and it's a good point. I never look at that. So you just told me something I didn't know. I look at what they're doing on 3rd down, and what they're doing on 3rd, and what we call short, 1 to 3, medium 4 to 7, long 8 and beyond, and kind of what they're doing and what their tendencies are and how they do. But I never really look at 4th down, to be honest with you, because it's just something I don't know. I just study 3rd down stuff, not 4th down.
You know, some things on tape, they actually like a 4th and 1 actually did allow the 4th down conversion. That's one thing I noticed this past week. It's also one of the craziest things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll, just depending on what the situation in the game, if they're up or if they're down, whatever. But you get 4th and 1s and stuff. You could get everything from a straight 6-5 goal line to just a base defense, depending on at what point of the game it is and what the situation is too. So we'll just have to be ready for whatever they have.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.